We're here to talk about the epidemic that's happening in communities across this province, country, and we're also here to talk through some solutions.
So today is November 25th. It's the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. And today we launched our Intimate Partner Violence Symposium that was held here in Windsor, Ontario. We heard from survivors. We heard from the mother of someone who was murdered by their partner.
My daughter, the eldest of my 5 children, went missing Friday, May 26th. 12 days later, her husband of 18 years was arrested and charged with the first degree of her murder.
The rising femicides all across Canada was a critical issue that was brought up by frontline organizations, civil society, and human rights organizations all across Canada.
44% of women will experience intimate partner violence in their life.
It could be your mother, your sister, your daughter, your family, or your friend.
For trans women, that number is upwards of around 65%.
Indigenous, Black, and racialized people in particular are statistically more likely to experience violence.
If we're not talking about this, then we're not doing our responsibilities as a union to protect victims and survivors.
One time she came with ribs broken in 7 places, and the doctor took an x-ray and he said there's other 7 that have healed. If you can imagine like being on a train and knowing the tracks have been pulled up ahead, but there's nothing you can do to stop that train.
One life taken by intimate partner violence is one too many.
It is a public health crisis. It is an epidemic. And the political action that we need to take is to get all of the premiers across this country to pass Bill 173, Intimate Partner Violence as an Epidemic legislation.
Because it would open the ability for funding and resources.
We'd like to see those funding streams in place to do the things that we know are necessary to support the frontline service providers, shelters, second stage housing, to make sure that there are mental health supports and physical supports for people that are experiencing intimate partner violence.
We have education programs. There's more funding to deal with the situations.
They may be able to make different decisions on things like bail, release conditions, sentences.
It's a first step, and we can use that step as leverage to be able to make arguments to do more.
But most importantly, it will be pushed to the forefront as an issue, and it will not be able to be brushed under the rug anymore.
We are doing all we can to put an end to intimate partner violence. We are out there doing seminars, symposiums. We're going to visit Unifor locals. We're putting out that information to organizations and communities that can support those that need assistance.
Our local women's committees are also very involved. They support the frontline organizations that help to do this work in our communities. Now what we need is action, and this is the first step on that path to making sure that governments start to act on the issue of intimate partner violence. And of course, we're pursuing this all across the country. But here in Ontario, the legislation exists, and we need it to be passed by this Ford government.
And we're still struggling to convince the government women's bodies need to be safe at home, on the street, in the workplace. 2024.
It is crucial that Ontario follows in the footsteps of Nova Scotia and declare intimate partner violence an epidemic. Ontario must act now.
You can send an email to your member of provincial parliament right now to tell them that you want to declare intimate partner violence an epidemic. We've got lots of materials. So we want our women's committees to go back to their locals, to host events, to speak up at their local union meetings, to bring those postcards into the workplace, put the posters up. We'd love to see these up on every union board that we have in our communities, union newsletters, and talk to everyone that they can about signing on to the petition here in Ontario.
Please get on board with this, and women are dying every day.
I don't want the tragic end, the 12 days that concluded my daughter's precious life to be her legacy.
Unifor Women will not stop. We're going to keep fighting for that change.
Get involved. I'm involved. All the sisters here are involved. Sign up and make your voice heard.